Oh, when they're not making sense. Okay. Yeah, I mean, why you gotta put it on just a man? Women don't do that too. There's no woman that's doing that stuff, girl.
No, we don't. I'm not gonna say that. I'm lying. Okay, I'm just talking shit. But peace and blessing. First off,
Peace.
I can't always say it's women or men, but it seems to be in certain spaces where it's majority men sitting in the room. It's because these men desire to hear other men's voice. They don't desire to hear women involved speaking in the conversation. So when a
Why
woman
do women do that?
Uh, no,
Why
I'm not lying. I'm not even playing. I'm not trying to
always
be
when
fucked up. I'm seriously speaking from a point of view where I noticed this pattern
women
of when men
always,
speak,
you know, the
they're
biggest
all like,
shot
"Yeah,
or
brother,
jab that
love you,
women
brother,
take?
nice brother," and they could be like, "Shut the fuck, little bunk bitch," and they be like, "Oh, brother, I don't know why you're tripping with me, brother." And then as soon as I come in there, like, "Hey, what did you say?" Oh, here we go, and I'm like, I'm just asking questions about what you guys are talking about. Like when I came in the room, I sat in the audience, and motherfucker said something about Nature Boy, and he's following something else. And I said, well, Nature Boy believes he's three God, and he was like, can you solidify? Because I'm like, well, and truly, he's not really wrong. He just went about it the wrong way. We're supposed to ascend to a better being, which would be the third person aspect of you and your flesh becoming able to walk as one in this world. And now you become the third, which is the better being. And so I understood what Nature Boy was doing, but it's when he was like, I'm God and nigga, bitch. And
But see, even that type of talk is just so ethereal. You become the third being. What happened to this? Where's the
yeah,
second?
there is some, that's why I was like, I can't substantiate it. I never claimed that I could, but he was like, well, where'd you get this information? There probably is a fourth being. It's just ascending, right? So the more higher you get in your consciousness, you're going to ascend to another level. So there possibly is. I haven't heard it referred to the fourth person or the fourth being or the fourth God, but okay.
See, if someone tells me I'm the third being, I'm just gonna say I'm the fourth.
Okay. I don't know if you
I'm the
know who
tenth being.
Neff the
I'm the
Pharaoh
12th.
is or Pharaoh. I think it was his name is Pharaoh or nephew or something. But a lot of times he refers to that three God as well. So there's other people that do refer to the three God, which is when you're able to be that Christ like in the flesh while your spirit is heightened and with understanding. And it's like you're not the same being you used to be. You transform to
But
another
here's the thing:
person.
as a person who, I name my group Ascended Masters, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this is where I differ when it comes to consciousness, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some people view consciousness from a ladder perspective, like they're down
Mm-hmm.
here and they
Right.
right,
Right.
like it's something to be like that. I see consciousness more as a light that needs to be
Okay.
turned on. That
Yeah.
needs to be turned on. Like like this goes into kind of like reality versus perspective kind of a thing. If your current consciousness is controlled by like hallucinations or something like that, then ascension is like this process of removing the filters, right?
Mm-hmm.
For me, the consciousness doesn't ascend.
It'll rise.
Consciousness, you know what I'm saying? To me, it more or less it becomes aware. It
Mm-hmm.
gains more
Yeah.
awareness.
Yeah, that's a
It
good way
gains
to yeah.
right. It just
I like
gains
that.
more awareness, and that awareness is not up or down.
No, it's inner
It's just
and outer.
on or off. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's on or off. Right. So I get what people are trying to say, but I realize that it's all relative at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like no, because if you're truly understanding the all and the infinite, what is up and what is down?
It's neither nor.
You see? So like that's why I'm like, okay, I hope people are not taking these certain things literal, because it
They
then
do.
you'll miss. yeah, then you'll completely miss the point if you take everything literal. You know,
Yeah.
so when it comes to spirituality, a lot of these things are abstract. You can't take them
Allegory,
literal.
parables. Yeah.
Right. So it's like don't take it literal. Just
Use the
understand
method.
what's being said so that you can gain the
Yeah.
experience.
The
Like
the
or
the
you
knowledge
just
behind it, right?
exactly don't yeah. So that's kind of where I am with
Because
it.
you'll miss the key message if you focus too much on the aspect of the fairy tale. You'll literally let the whole fairy tale be what it is, a fairy tale, but you will never catch the key message that was why the fairy tale was a tale to tell.
Mm. But the only reason they brought up Nature Boy, like, because the conversation wasn't about Nature Boy, was a video that Loose Cannon had pulled up, talking about Chief Why Not, so it wasn't really about Nature Boy. So he came in right about the Nature Boy thing.
He
So
on his
what you
ass.
laughing? You saw that? You saw that?
I be sitting around him. I be dying laughing. That shit funny as fuck. The way he be on his ass, like in him and TKO, like that shit is funny as fuck.
Yeah, nah,
Luce
it's
is
good. It's good
hilarious.
content.
I love Luce
Yeah,
for because he is who he is and he's funny. But I like the fact that he holds certain people that don't get held accountable.
yeah, he does. Like that's something that he does, and I think that like um a lot of people are want to be spiritual, but then I asked them, well, what is spiritual?
Mm-hmm.
Because to me, by default, everybody's spiritual.
Yeah, by default, right.
If you have a spirit, then you're spiritual.
You're right.
You can,
Until you no
you
longer
can
have
be awake.
spirit.
Right. Then you're not spiritual.
You'll probably be a spirit, but not spiritual. Oh shit, what happened?
Maybe his phone died.
Oh no. Hopefully he makes it to a charger or another device.
We gonna find out in a minute.
Yeah, before we gonna see through the top of the line, the live ended. That's the story of my life. Just when it gets good, I'm like, oh
Right?
no.
Come
I'm
on,
waiting, and
Heavy.
it's like, hey, but don't he look too cool?
That is a good
He looks
shot.
cool. Yeah. Like the sweater's dancing all over the place, break dancing, and he's grooving.
Oh shit. Oh yeah, he may not make it.
I love Heavy. Heavy's a cool dude. He got
He's
knowledge
great.
of a lot of stuff. And I'm glad that he left Napoki's room where now I can hear him for real, for real.
Oh wait, you're the second person I heard Napoki's name.
Yeah, because we all like kind of met in Napoki's room.
And Napoki, is that a guy or a girl?
She's a girl, I believe. Yeah, she's a girl. I seen her once.
Mm.
Yeah, she's a girl. She's a lady from Sudan, but she be having a panel that's kind of based with a lot of overseas people and American people.
Mm.
They're very different. They're like nerds of Al Qaeda or some shit. I don't know.
You're still live.
It's kind of weird because they're not.
You hear me?
These people are the reason that you see
You're
trolls
still
pop in
live.
and out.
Your
Oh,
live hasn't
Muslim,
ended.
death dog.
Yeah,
That's them.
you gotta
Them,
cut it.
they're them people
Okay.
in the room. Literally, it'd be them. And a few black
Wait,
people.
who would be? Say it again.
It'd be like people that are Muslim based, like from Sudan or for some Afghanistan, some from overseas, UK.
Oh, that looks good. Hold on. I want to show it off.
I'm not done yet.
Oh.
And you made it.
I was like, man, he got froze, but his sweater looked
Yeah, I
cool.
got
You probably
phone-
had
look,
one
my
more
phone-
minute
my
left.
phone died. I just
Yeah,
ran
that's
to
what
the.
she said. I said, I hope he ran to another device or to a charger because it was just getting good. You thought that like the best part, I think.
Yeah.
Spirit.
Froze
Yep.
up on me until I had to go.
But you didn't look weird frozen. You look cool. You look.
It was a good frozen
Oh,
shot.
I did. Okay, good.
You
They
didn't
don't
look
have
crazy.
to work harder to catch you slipping.
Yeah, catch my good side.
Yeah, but I'm
No.
just saying, I don't think they gonna ever catch you on a bad side because each side is. I mean, like shit.
Aw,
You got your stunner shades on, which I think the eyes what fucks up a motherfucker when the camera fucks up.
Heck yeah, that's when you.
Oh,
Because
yeah,
the glasses
I-
got you all like
cockeyed.
just hella cool and shit. Like,
Right. Right. So no, but when we talk about that being spiritual by default, because everything you do is done through spirit.
Right.
There's nothing that,
Respiration.
yeah. It's all done through spirit. It's all done by, by that. So you can't get away from being spiritual. What most people mean when they say they're spiritual is that they have some form of in-depth knowledge about the psychology of man or the workings of like the universe.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, you don't have to have in-depth knowledge of all these things or the workings of the universe to be able to identify certain things.
Right.
Like that's to me, some of these things are just common to identify. I can
Common sense.
identify I can identify a liar without knowing
Mm-hmm.
anything about endowment. I
Okay.
can identify a person who is prideful. I can identify a person who is not good for me without being able to tell you about chakras.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? So
Based on how they
right.
move.
Yeah, so like a lot of people when they, oh man, you're not spiritual and you're not, no, you're just saying you got some knowledge about something that you believe to be,
Right.
deep things. But me, I look at everybody as spiritual.
Right.
There's not no one on this planet I can't learn something from. There's not no one
Absolutely.
on this planet that I can't that I don't believe is incapable of discernment. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the
Really?
pride of, yeah, oh yeah, that's the pride of the conscious community, quote unquote, right? They're the ones that think they
Discernment
have
is based on like
this.
discernment. Are you meaning so discernment as far as using the spiritual aspect of discernment, but not as far as totality of discernment in your everyday life?
Okay, so look at it like this. So when I'm speaking of discernment, I'm just speaking about seeing through the appearance of things,
Mm.
right? Or the underlying truth to something.
Okay.
Or some might call that divine law, right?
Okay.
People throw the word divine or spiritual on words to make them sound a little deeper, right? Now, I
Yeah.
ain't talking about your mind. I'm talking about your spiritual mind. I ain't talking about your feet, but your spiritual feet. I ain't
Didn't know
talking about
spirits had
law.
feet.
I'm talking about the divine. Like so they
Yeah.
throw this word on and just to make themselves just sound a little more deeper than what it actually is. But it is the discernment is works whether you put spiritual discernment or just regular discernment. It's the same thing. Being able to distinguish
Hmm.
the real from the unreal.
And that's where I don't believe everybody has the capabilities. There's a
No, no,
lot of
no, no, no.
people that believe what they
No,
believe.
no, no. They might not be. There might be certain things they're not able to discern based on certain levels of knowledge or things,
Hmm.
but they can still discern. But how do you know what they're capable of discerning if you don't know their mind?
You try it.
Mm. So, like for me, I don't think you need to know spiritual things to be able to discern if a nigga lying to you or not.
No, that's yeah. It's based on where you need discernment in all matters. So if you're studied well in regards to yourself and communications and in human interaction and community and environment, how it plays a role in a person's upbringing into who they are and characteristics that may be brought out based on certain things. So there's certain matters in which if you have an understanding on, you'll be able to understand people a little better. But then you would have to get to know a person more personably
Right.
to get to know.
And that's where the spiritual community or the conscious community always messes up because
True.
what they're really doing is judging, not discerning.
Yes. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
They
Yeah.
judge, they don't discern. right? And
Exactly.
judgment is based on the ego and often personal bias.
Pride.
So if you're a Hebrew Israelite and I'm a Carbon Nation person,
Mm-hmm.
your bias is gonna
Against your,
make you
yeah.
your bias against the philosophy is gonna make you incapable at times of
Listen.
discerning, but being able to judge based on your
Yeah.
bias. You see what I'm saying?
But it
So
wouldn't be good
it's
judgment either, because then I'm biased. So
wouldn't
my
be
biasness makes it where my
exactly.
judgment is going to be off.
Exactly. So this is why the spiritual or the conscious community has a low discernment degree,
Mm-hmm.
because they can't even discern when they're talking about the same things just from a different perspective.
Right, right, right.
They they can't
Right.
correlate Islam and Christianity. They can't
Is that
correlate Buddhism, and native traditions. They
all of
can't
them being
they can't
connected?
they can't
Yeah,
correlate it. The minute
yeah,
you say I'm a part of this group, bias.
yep. They will not find no favor in you if you come with your title first. But if you come with your knowledge, they may accept
No,
your knowledge until they.
but your knowledge is coming from your perspective. So if I'm a Christian
But if they
and
don't
you
know you're
say, well,
Christian,
no, I'm not though. I'm just using this
no,
example.
I'm saying I've noticed how they treat people, because
Right.
I noticed that.
You're a believer.
I've sat in rooms and panels where we have broke down conversations, and I observe how they treat certain people who have a different belief than others. I come with them understanding that I'm more spiritual. I don't deal with the title of Hebrew or Christian, but I have dealt with them before in the past, and I've removed myself from those things. But I still conversate with them. So when it comes down to, because I have conversation that's knowledge of that, I can sit with Muslims and have knowledge of that, and I, like you said, I can see the correlation. Never ever saying the scripture, never ever saying the passage or the books or whatever, just giving the proverbs of it, right? And they're like, "Are you 5%? Are you Muslim? Are you this? Are you that?" Because I'm like, nah, this actually I got out of the Bible and out of some other books, but at the end of the day, they're pretty much saying the same message. And so therefore, if they believe I'm from these different sects, it's because the message was the same. And so
Exactly.
that's where I was like, if we remove those biases, like titles that you feel like are against your beliefs or ways, and you just accept the person and allow them to sit and walk with you, or break bread with you, share a meal, have, just conversate, you will find that you don't have much differences, and you can actually get along with these people. You don't have to be like, oh, the Muslims, oh, the fucking this. It's not that serious when you remove
Oh,
those things that keep
and that's
you.
how you also know they lack wisdom.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How are you?
Mm-hmm.
You could be conscious and have no wisdom.
Yeah. True.
Let me say that again. You can be conscious and have no wisdom.
Conscious
Right?
is just
Because
a state of place.
right, all consciousness is just the potential to obtain knowledge.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you have the knowledge. It just means that you have the potential to obtain the knowledge, right?
Yeah.
And many become knowledgeable, meaning that
something like knowledge.
they know this subject, or they've read this, or they can quote a verse, or they can quote a surah, or they can quote something from the Vedic text, or they could tell you this and they could tell you that. That's
Yeah.
just knowledge. But if you can't see the unity behind the information, you lack wisdom.
Yeah. It's not
See,
accurate.
a true wise person can see the core. This is why I have no issues with no religion.
Mm-hmm.
This is why for me, the only thing I ask is, are you devout?
Mm-hmm.
Are you a true devotee? Are you sincerely that thing? Because if you are sincerely that thing, you can come to the understanding of the information that's being presented.
Yeah.
And then you will see the correlation between that and this and that and this and that, because ultimately at the end of it, there's a unification that has already taken place that you haven't observed. So the people that you see fighting this group and fighting that group and doing that, they lack wisdom.
Yeah.
And a lot of people nowadays, because it's the information age, they just think that people that have information is enough and they're worthy of being followed or they're worthy of being teachers. What good is a teacher without wisdom?
Right. Right. There is no good. That's no good because they have not what they're trying to teach you, they haven't even achieved. They haven't
That's
achieved
what I'm
it.
saying. So this is why
And they're lying.
This is why when people, I adamantly tell people, I am not a part of the conscious community. I am a part of the spiritual community by default.
Yeah. But that's
just by default.
To me, that seems like the best title to be a part of, to be honest, because even if you claim a higher power, you understand your higher power is more spirit than it's not flesh. So if that's the case, then what is required of you is to become more spiritual, more in tune with the spirit. And if we are able to in tune our spirit, I think that we can accept that everybody has a spirit and they should be able to understand how fragile that spirit is when you crack that shell. So it's like respectfully knowing that, they have a right to exist. I don't know. I just find out knowing that there's so much more connection between us all beyond this flesh and even into our spiritual aspect. We're all connected. It makes me have a more deal of respect for that person's life existing because I exist and they exist. We exist together. We are conscious together. We are all a part of the same pool. So I'm kind of feeling like, are we just fragments of each other's conscious?
Right. Someone said, Hebrew Boss said, Heavy, I hear a bias I would like to address. Sure, address it. Feel free to address it. But
would you like me to drop in?
No, they can. No, I'm saying address it. I don't. Okay. Respectfully, I don't like to get people on the panel because I realize that people that are, once again, part of the conscious community, they love to debate. So I got to figure out if this is someone trying to curate a debate. And it's just not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? So feel free to express your sentiment, and we can see if we can dive deeper into it. I would love to hear your sentiments. Yeah, well, feel free. You have full expression. Full expression is granted, my brother. Feel free to speak your mind. But here's how you know you're part of the conscious community. When you believe that you create your reality. Let me explain something. I know I'm saying the complete opposite of everything everybody says in the conscious community. Everything that everybody says in the conscious community, they tell you create your reality.
Manifesting.
Watch this. You don't create the substance of reality. You merely curate it. And let me break that down. If there is a source, if there is a thing, and remember I said source is the creator of origin. Source doesn't have an origin, right? So if we understand this concept, right, then we understand that the God or the source or being itself is the source code, or is the infinite nun, right? So that reality is already complete and eternal. You are not making something out of thin air, and instead you are using your mind to perform a few things, right? Magic. One of that things is selection, right? Meaning that's how you collapse a wave in physics. You make the selection, right? The next thing you do is you translate, right? That goes into your perception, right? And then the next thing you do is you participate. But guess what? The eternal was already here.
Right. Prior.
It was reality was already here.
It's just waiting for you to step into it.
You're not creating it. You're just tapping into it.
Yeah. It's waiting on you. It's already here. It's already around. It's already existing. And it's just waiting for you to now be aware of it, which is conscious of its existence.
Oh, Hebrew boss said, I'm not what you assume. I don't assume anything. I have no assumptions.
Just ask the question.
Yeah. I just said, just feel free to speak your mind, brother. And if it's something that I feel like entertaining at the moment, we will definitely dive deeper into your thoughts. You know what I mean? But yeah, I have no assumptions now. I can't even assume what you're thinking about. You know, I have no idea. I'm talking about reality right now. You know what I mean? So yeah, I have no thoughts of you, brother. You know, I have no judgments. You know, I'm addressing. I don't even now. I'm lost. I'm addressing a title. No, we're talking about reality right now. Now I'm addressing you. You see? So yeah, I'm lost. See, it's getting a little. You know what I mean? You see?
Already, yeah.
See, based off of someone's assumptions. So, but brother, feel free to express what you want to express in the comments, and we'll definitely see if we can entertain that thought, that line of thought. You know. But if you don't want to, I understand. But but yeah. So we're just curators of reality. We're not creators of reality.
Because it's already there for us to tap into. We just have to tap into it and make ourselves be a part of the reality. Like we're basically trying to join in and merge ourselves with this reality. Step into the real.
Right. And that's where your brain and your heart come into play, because these are the two aspects of your intellect.
Yes.
Right. So your brain and your heart translate that chaos into a story. They translate into a color, a sound, a meaning, all of these things.
That's why you say light. Like that's why you said you use energy and light. Okay, that makes sense, because when you look at these emotional aspects, they are connected to colors, connected to sound or whatever. So certain sound frequencies will make you see colors of blues or reds or yellows, and depending on the frequency, things like that. So you can read the anger, the sorrow, the happiness, the playfulness, all these things described through a tune, pitch, or a light, or color. So yeah, I get it.
So think of it like this. You are the director of the movie, but guess what? You didn't build the studio.
That's deep, but that's real. That's real.
You can direct the movie. You can create the scene. You see what I'm saying? But the studio was already there for you to do that.
It already was provided.
That was already in existence.
All you had to do was pick out the tools you wanted to use to manipulate your destiny with what's already been provided.
Right, and this goes back into what me and Wise were talking about earlier when it pertains to the nothingness. A lot of people don't know what nothing is.
Nothing doesn't exist.
Yeah, it created existence.
Yeah, because out of nothing, everything comes. So There is nothing in nothing, but the possibility of everything.
There you are, the potentiality, right? So that potentiality is there. So when we're talking about existence has a starting point. Existence has a beginning. Beginning implies the start of time. We're talking about something that predates time.
Exactly. Exactly. I often think about this when the babies are when a man and woman have sex and she conceives, the semen is alive and it comes from him, but he has he releases every day. So where does it come from before then? And it's alive.
Wait, say that last part again. I got
So
cut off the line.
semen comes from men, of course, you
Right.
know, right? And when they like they say that men store semen only for, I guess, the day or whatever, but if they ejaculate, they get a replenishment, whatever. Where does it come from that it comes back into them replenished and alive? Like a woman, all her eggs are born, she's born with all her eggs. But a man is born with endless potential of seeds and has a seed factory somewhere.
Are you asking me how is semen?
No, I'm just asking, where does it come? Because time for it in this, like, it has so much time to reach that egg and it's aware of that. But prior to it reaching that egg at the mark you said go, where did it come from before it came from him? How did it get back in him if he nutted in the toilet or whatever the fuck? Why? How did he get more? And how's it alive again? Like, where does this come from? That's where I feel like there's a portal in between him that allows him to replenish. And then we also create our own portal when we come together that
A lot of
allows
people
him
don't.
to enter into me and open up this ability to conceive, because not everybody can conceive even if they wanted to and have sex and all this shit and no ovulation charts, all this shit, but it doesn't mean that it's going to happen for them. So it's like it has to be what, the right energy, right elements, right time, right person. Possibly, I don't know. Could be Mr. Wrong too, but it's just like certain elements may play a part in this conception. So I'm like, I'm wondering, does life really begin at that point of conception, or does life begin even before it even is inside of him?
Okay. So you're
I
based.
know that
Okay.
was a
So
lot. I'm sorry.
yeah. Okay. 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 I'm just let me process because right now I'm thinking of how sperm replenishes
Yeah,
and
that was
is
the question.
sperm. Okay. Let me just try to walk in. Tell me if I answer your questions. So sperm is living cells. It's not a
Yeah.
living organism,
Okay.
right? So it's a life form of an organism, but in itself is not a organism. So it's just living cells, meaning
Mm.
cells that like possess life. The thing about sperm, and then think about it. Most people don't really don't really fathom this. Do you know how many sperm cells a man makes a day?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. How the hell does he do it? Where did it come from?
A man, a man, a man can process millions of new sperm cells a day. Literally thousands a second. Per second. Per second, he's producing thousands of fucking sperm cells. But but I think it takes like somewhere like around 3 months for a single cell to like fully develop. Like think of a woman's trimesters, right? It takes a man
Yeah,
one
two,
trimester,
first trimester, second
one
trimester.
one
Yeah.
trimester to fully develop 200 to 300 million. Yeah, on a daily basis, more than likely, right? So once the cells are produced, because it takes more than just one part of the body to like aid in like creating a sperm cell, right?
Mm.
Like you got it's something, was it, oh, the epididymis. It's called the epididymis, right?
What
No,
is
no, no,
that?
it's just a funny word. That's this part that when you're talking about the cell, the sperm, it's the part that's responsible for like making the actual what do you call it? The no, 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 no. epididymis. No, the epididymis is the tube that the sperm travel through.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what that is. That's hold on, I'm mixing up my
But where
biology.
so
Damn
it
it!
travels through that to the to the sac?
Right. Well, it don't. It's behind the testicles. It's like this
Okay.
thing behind the testicles, right? And it stays there until the sperm like matures,
Mm.
right? And then you have these other parts of the body that create like the different fluids, like because the sperm is made up of a lot of fluid, like it's really
Mm-hmm.
made up of a lot of fluid, right? So
Wow.
one part of that fluid comes from the comes from a gland. It's like I
Pineal,
think it's
not the
called
pineal.
no, the seminal, like the semen. Think of like semen, but this like the
Ah,
semen,
okay, okay.
like the seminal. It's called like the seminal gland, and
Mm-hmm.
this gland produces like the natural sugars or whatever for the sperm.
Glucose.
You know what I'm saying? And it get like the fructose, right, for the
Mm.
sperm to have energy, so that they can be energized. Then you have this other fluid, right, that's in there that makes the sperm alkaline because
Mm.
the sperm's got to be alkaline. So
Mm-hmm.
it's another fluid that makes the sperm become like alkaline. And once it's alkaline, the minute it becomes alkaline, now the sperm can move through the body a particular way.
Activated, yeah.
It's like it almost activates it. And then like the smallest percent of it is like the sperm itself, right?
Mm.
But then you got another fluid that when a man ejaculates, right, there's a
Precon.
fluid that yeah, what we call like possibly pre-cum. You know what I'm saying? Like most people call it pre-cum. That comes from a gland. I can't remember the name of that gland that creates that what people are calling pre-cum, but that
Mm-hmm.
fluid makes way, and then so the sperm could travel
Swim.
through, yeah,
Okay.
swim through. You know what I'm saying? So sperm is like it's an interesting like thing. But even then, after that, like a lot of people, like I was telling Shu the other day, a lot of people think that the fastest sperm that makes it to the egg is going to be fertilized. They don't
Mm-hmm.
they don't understand that the
The
sperm
egg can
don't
reject
choose
it.
the exactly. So the egg is actually choosing.
Mm-hmm.
The egg is doing all the choice. And a lot of people
Oh, that's
think like
deep.
it's like this big competition between the sperm, like move, get out of my way. I gotta do
No,
this. No,
it's like, well,
sperm
can I
travel in
pass?
groups. Yeah, no, they literally travel in groups because that helps them navigate the reproductive tracks of the
Mm.
woman
So
easier.
like
So
a
they
sonar system,
they travel literally in groups. And
like
even
birds.
and at the tip of the head, it's like a what metal is it? Is it iron or is it copper? It's like at
Copper
the tip
probably.
of the sperm. Um, I can't remember. I can't remember, but it's a
Wait. So
metal.
you're saying at the tip of the semen head, they have some kind of metal, like iron or copper?
Yeah, it's one or the other. It's one or
Okay.
the other.
That's
No, 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 no.
amazing.
It might not be that. I think it's not iron or copper. I think it's zinc. I think it's
Okay.
zinc.
Mm-hmm.
Shu, can you verify that for me? Is that possible
Mm-hmm.
to verify? But I think that is zinc
And what would the zinc do for it, like that it needs it at the top of its head?
because zinc helps it maintain its structure. You know what I'm saying? It's
Okay. So it's keeping it together to be
yeah
able
the
to
zinc
penetrate the egg or into
right, yeah
the wall.
or the yeah or the sperm will lose its structure if the zinc is not present in the sperm. But can you verify that for me,
It
sure?
says you're
I just
close,
want to
but
make
it's
sure.
not zinc.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, wait. Can you ask the question again? Let me
Is
make sure
is
I'm doing this right.
What is
is a
that?
sperm more concentrated in like zinc or iron or copper? but I think it's zinc.
It's zinc.
Zinc.
It is.
It is, yeah.
That would make
What is
sense
it?
too, because
Highest
zinc.
concentration. Stabilizes sperm
Yes.
DNA, supports sperm formation, helps motility and overall quality, protects against oxidative damage.
Mm.
And then small amounts of copper.
Mm.
Mm. How does it get the
Right.
copper?
From the man. Oh, is that too obvious? Oh, you want me to
No,
go
I
deeper?
was like, yeah, that was very
Oh.
obvious. It came from him, but I just like
It
who put it
says
in
you,
him to like? Why does he have?
it says you eat foods with
I'm just hella
copper,
curious.
nuts, seeds,
No,
shellfish,
well,
organs.
right. So what it like it literally takes it the same way a woman uses a single drop of blood for things. All the stuff of the sperm, this is the issues of life, so it has a connection with the man's blood. So it draws the zinc literally from the man's blood. Like the man's blood does that. The zinc is actually that's where it comes from. You know what I mean? If I'm
I
not,
think it's so interesting because
Shu can verify it for me, but
the pre-cum aspect kind of it's kind of similar to like when a woman nurses and lactates, she has this pre-secretion. It's like a secretion before the milk comes that gives the babies what is needed to be able to continue to suckle or whatever, and then the milk is produced. So it's kind of like that, because it's like it's not milk, but it's something nutrient secreted first.
Yeah, it pulls zinc from the blood.
boom, it all goes back to the blood because that flows the issues of life. So if you're going to create life, it has to come from the blood, you know, or you're creating something alive in you. It's going to have to come from the blood.
Oh, that's so deep. Because they got that from the man, because in the blood, it gives them the knowledge of that of life too. So it takes on some information from you to be able to to go through that course, to go through the obstacle course. And even with the child, the mother lactating and giving the child the milk from her breast gives all the vitamins and the vaccinations that she's got. Now the child can take on that protection through the milk. And so it's interesting because it literally passes on the DNA information to the child without the child literally learning it. It is the body is receiving the download of the information.
But this and this kind of plays into this goes into also the importance of semen retention, right? When you're talking about aspects of semen retention, when you're trying to do the great work, right? There's this focus on conserving your energy to like kind of fuel your ascension or your intellectual growth, rather than using it for like physical reproduction. You know, so these people understood what all is taking place, even in order to create sperm cells on a daily basis, right? And the amount of energy that is put into these cells. But there's a way that I can utilize that energy for myself, and opposed to just giving it away. So there are ancient traditions on how to utilize that energy, right? Most people just say, well, I practice semen retention. Well, just practicing semen retention, but not knowing the procedures and the processes for ascension, then you're just a highly testosterone nigga.
Pinned up. Yeah, you're just really pinned up for no reason.
You just got all this testosterone flowing without actually knowing the procedures that come after the retention. Retention is just the first step. That's just the first step. I wonder if the same things, if what men can do with semen retention can women do something similar?
Hmm.
Like you can abstain from sex, but I don't think it's the same thing involved.
No, we don't have a semen retention. There's nothing that's retented. Like we don't have a pinned. Like we don't have a source that's going to be released per se when you know when gratif- gratification is delayed. Like okay, for me, for instance, as a woman, I can I don't worry about sex, right? And the longer I go without it, the longer I don't worry about it.
Mm.
But if I have it often, the more harder it is for me not to want it.
Mm. So, me and Wise was talking earlier about Hecca. We're talking earlier about Hecca, right? Now, Hecca plays a big part when it comes to semen retention, right? And this goes into what's called seminal transmutation or semen transmuting, if you want to break it down. And this form of alchemy goes into yogic practices that they talk about a lot, right? So it's not just about not doing something. It's about it's about redirecting the
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 energy.
the generative force or the Heka or the life force from the physical body up towards the mind and the heart.
Mm. Redirecting the energy flow instead of using that energy to flow to your libido, whatever, you're using it to flow
Exactly.
into the mind to now raise conscious or to endure environmental hardship or whatever. So you can utilize that amount of energy somewhere else versus creating life.
Right.
You can use that to recreate your own life.
So this is why ancient Native American traditions, ancient Indian traditions, ancient Chinese traditions, when they knew that you must give this energy a job. You must give the energy the job, or it's just potential energy. You have to make it kinetic, right? So you have to give the energy a job. So this is the time for you to dive into your studies, to dive into the arts, to build a project, you know what I'm saying? To practice kung fu, to do all these types of things because you are literally using the energy to
To
using the
activate
using
something else.
yeah, using the fuel of the body to power this engine of the mind.
Mm.
So now you're able to strengthen the mind because now the mind can have more focus, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you direct your intent towards say helping move the energy from the lower, which is known as the survival centers,
That's deep.
to the higher heart centers. You see what I'm saying? So this is also why when breath work and energy circulation becomes very important.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
doing semen retention without practicing breath work
Yeah.
it just doesn't make sense. Because to ascend the energy, you have to go through specific techniques to move this up the spine.
Mm. Mm.
You are literally moving this from a lower place to
To
a
a
higher
higher.
place, right? So,
Okay.
so the
That's
Tao is
deep.
the way the ancient Tao, or in the Tao, or which is also known as the Way, according to the Buddhists, right? How
Yeah.
this works is they practice where you visualize because there's also mind.
Yeah.
When you're dealing with the mind, there also has to be this visualization
Vision.
practice
Yeah.
going to with your meditation. So you have to also visualize the energy like rising up your
Mm-hmm.
spine on the inhale and descending down the down in the front of your body on the exhale.
So you're trying to get it over the hill in a way. You need it to, you're using breath to move it up, just like that. Exactly. Just like that game where you hit the thing with the sledgehammer and it goes up and come back down, or the roller coaster that goes up to its peak and comes over the mountain slope and going back down. But you would have to have the same, that in order for that roller coaster to get there, it has to be moving at a certain speed and velocity to be able to have enough a gusto to move that up. And so it's kind of like even our energy that we place ourselves in, or things that we place energy into. And if we're putting energy into dead things or things that will not grow, then we've wasted potential energy to utilize it to move something that could move us into a greater place. Like, I'm thinking about when you said those things are moving up, it's like bing, 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 like your chakras, like chakras in your spine, and you're rising up to understanding, and each
Well,
level you rise
it's not
higher.
just rising up. When you get it, you'll understand that what you're creating is a microcosmic orbit. That's my best way of putting
Blast
it.
off.
So you're creating, and you're seeing this as like this cycle,
Microcosmic.
circling. It's orbiting.
Several orbits circling.
You're in visual. Yeah, it's now it's creating these revolutions. Now, and also when you get into yogic practices, they call this pranayama. We all know what prana is. It's just like chi, right? So pranayama, what that deals with is it's not only good to just visualize the energy going from up the back of the spine and then over and across the front of the body, but you also have to understand that there is a deep rhythm to the breathing.
Okay.
Right? And this creates an internal heat. That's now this internal heat that's needed to like kind of thins out the dense physical energy so that it can rise to the brain, right? So I can show you right now ways to heat up your body with just breathing, and also cool your body down with just simple breathing.
Yeah.
Just simple breathing.
So like laborious, and then
watch this. You do this, and a lot of this stuff you do it instinctually without knowing. Let me give you an example. When you breathe in air through your teeth, it cools the body. Practice it. Do it real quick. Just go.
You feel how cool the air is? Said teeth. I felt cool. And I knew exactly what you were talking about, because when I eat something hot.
That's why when you hurt yourself or you get pain, you go,
ow, to cool the body.
You're cooling the body. Because from the intensity, now there's more heat generated into the body. So naturally, you just go.
That's cold-blooded. How you know all this stuff?
Because I understand breathing.
Nah, not just understanding breathing. You know a lot. You know a lot.
So for me, like, this is Ascended Masters. This is Ascended Masters. We got to know these things. We got to teach these things.
I need to go there.
I have many mentors. But these are things I teach on the other side to help people with their ascension. I do what's called, I made up a science called spiritual pathology, and this is part of the science. I give people certain things, but I also teach them the breathing techniques that they need at the level where they are, right? So you have to be able to know how to cool the body, how to heat up the body, right? But also be able to heat up specific organs or cool down specific organs at different times in order to get energy to flow properly throughout your body. You see what I'm saying?
So this is that you're pushing pistons and
then not only that, but once you begin to breathe a certain way, it's also knowing certain ways to move your body to assist with the flowing of the energy.
That shit. Right. Is there a charge? Exactly.
Right. So we talked about transmuting it through the focus. We talked about the breathing and things of that nature. But then you got to go to another aspect when we talk about semen retention and things of this nature. There has to be this level of mental discipline.
Yeah.
right? There has to be a level of different discipline, because the discipline is going to help you to guard the gates, as I like to call it.
Yes, yes.
Because you have these gateways. You also have these gates on the outside of your body, but you also have internal gates with all throughout your body.
Yeah.
And it's attached to the meridians. It's attached to the meridians in your body, right? So you also, this is why you have things like acupuncture and stuff, right? In order to connect to certain meridians, and you release and you allow the energy to be able to flow properly through those meridians. So you have to have a mental discipline also, and be able, so that you can discipline the body. So the first step, that's why I say y'all talk about semen retention. That's just the first step.
Yeah,
that's helping you to just practice discipline. Yeah, but that's just the first step
of discipline. Yeah, it has to be, because without that discipline, how can you get to the other stages? You have to be able to discipline that part of you to be able to retain that energy needed, because that's your biggest flow of energy.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd have to be disciplined to know that you're doing something for a greater cause of achieving something greater than just that. So that's why they say delayed gratification. Okay.
And then after all that, the last thing that you would have to learn is grounding. I know what y'all call grounding. I know what the tree huggers told you grounding was. I can Google it right now.
No, that's okay. Tell me. That's all right. I want to hear that one.
Take your shoes off.
I never wanted to hear that one from the beginning. I didn't understand that when I
connect to the earth. They don't know what proper grounding is. Proper grounding happens once you get the proper energy flow and you can ground it. Yep. And you can cause it to stay established in the body. That is true grounding.
Yeah.
The stabilizing of that energy and that chi is proper grounding.
Oh,
you take your shoes off outside. That's not real. That's new age. That's new age grounding. Yeah. That's new age grounding.
But is it? Because wouldn't you be picking up a lot of more energies through that ground that's going to have you now, like you're not really grounded at all. Like you're literally just...
No, the energy is coming from me. The energy is coming from, like I said, that semen retention. The energy is coming from what I'm pulling in through my... This is what my breath work is so important. Yeah. I'm pulling in prana. That's not something that's not coming from the ground.
No, but like for a woman, right?
I'm working with chi energy that's in my body.
If a woman puts her feet on the ground, she's like, okay, we have energy in us too, but the retention that you have, like you said, there's a different retention. So you won't be able to be grounded based off your retention in the grounding, whatever, feet in the ground, shit, whatever. But I hear a lot of women utilize that grounding stuff too. Is that something that women would benefit from?
Wait, say that one more time.
When they put their feet in the ground, would that be something that women could benefit from, grounding using the ground?
Well, no, there's benefits to the feet touching the ground. You know,
no, I'm saying as far as energy, like how you were saying that it didn't help you ground because you are the energy. And although we are energy itself as well, we don't have the same kind of built up penchant of source like you guys have as man and woman.
Okay, I get what you're saying. Okay, so when we're talking about grounding, let me just deal with it from I'm going to say from the level that most people are thinking of it. So when you're talking about grounding, you're talking about basically being stabilized. Mm-hmm. This is basically you becoming stabilized in a particular frequency.
Right.
Right. So when people are talking about grounding, what they're talking about is the restabilizing of energies. I want to restabilize. That means things are a little bit chaotic with me. I'm gonna go outside and hug a tree, and I'm gonna get grounded. Right? That means I'm gonna restabilize my energy. But when we're talking about semen retention, which is the first step, and then going to these other levels, this is talking about increasing the intensity of the chi.
Yeah.
This isn't about stabilizing. This is about heightening.
Building. Yeah.
And then after you've heightened it, you stabilize the place where you've gotten right there.
That's deep.
You see what I'm saying? So this is a different level of grounding.
So it wouldn't help you because it would actually steal the energy needed to make it where it can reach to that level where you can hold it. Now we at that full because you're holding all of this in you already, but you're trying to reach a certain level. So you're now kind of like wielding this power while holding it in from being combustive, but stable enough to where when it's needed to combust, you have it right where it's needed in the fullness and in the magnitude needed to be able to make it rise.
Because most people, when they speak of grounding to them is just staying connected to the earth's energy.
Yeah.
See,
but grounding
they want to
is really
take their shoes off. They want to do some root chakra alignment. They want to do an energy discharge. They want to release the negative energy. Poof. You know what I mean? And things of this nature. And they want to kind of do that aspect. But remember what I was just talking about a second ago. I'm talking about chi and prana. So what is prana? Prana is the universal life force. This is the universal life force. And this prana permeates through everything.
Energy.
Right? It's the energy that connects the physical world to the spiritual world.
Exactly.
Right? And that in itself is the word prana is derived from a word that deals with breath. So pra, which means forth, and na, which means breath, prana. So it's like the before breath. So this is why I say the grounding that I'm talking about is different. I'm talking about that energy that you have, your vital life energy, which the ancient Egyptians called your ka. This thing, what I'm saying, you're trying to intensify that. You're trying to allow it to have full expression. You're trying to allow it to, so you're pulling in from all these other things. This ain't just putting your feet on the ground.
Yeah.
This ain't just walking around barefoot or in some Birkenstocks.
I'm rolling.
You see what I'm saying? This goes beyond. This is beyond that.
Yeah,
so this is why I say most people, this is what they're going to do. I could drive you right now down the street. If you want to know where I get a lot of some knowledge from out here, I'll drive you right down the street. And it'll take me 3 minutes to drive down there, but it's right. It's the place where I go. This is one of the best Buddhist temples out here. I drive by this motherfucker all the time. When I get a free chance and I ain't got nothing to do, I walk over there, I sit down and I meditate. The dude already told me, you come over here anytime, whatever. But you'll be surprised at when you learn meditation properly, and when you learn it from the ancient sciences, not from Google. Not from Google.
Yeah.
Then you get an understanding.